Sorry, I didn't see you there. Hey, how are you? Great. And you're here for the sleep clinic, right? Yeah, great. And have you been here before? No? Okay, then yeah, I'll just tell you what's going to happen. So first, I'm going to ask you some questions. First, just some general questions, name, address, that kind of stuff. And then, yeah, we're going to get into more specific questions about your sleeping habits. So that's kind of the first phase. And then the second phase is going to be, we're going to put a heart monitor on you, and we're going to try out some various triggers. And yeah, just have a look at what lowers your heart rate and what relaxes you. So yeah, how does that sound? Good? Yeah, okay. And I'm just going to take some notes while we're going through the questions. So let's get started. Okay. So what is your full name? Okay. And what is your date of birth? Okay. And is it okay if we contact you in the future about sleep tests and clinics that we have? Yeah, okay, great. And yeah, can we have an email for that? Yeah. Perfect. And your phone number? Yep. Okay, great. And yeah, now we're going to get on to the specific questions about your sleeping habits. So, can you tell me a little bit about what's been going on at the moment? You know, what's brought you here? Okay. Not sleeping a lot. Work stress. That's a lot to be dealing with. Okay. And is there anything else you wanted to add? Is there any small stresses that are getting to you at the moment? It's just good to get a full picture. Okay. Yep. Okay. It does seem like you're going through quite a lot at the moment. And if you had to choose one of the biggest stresses from the things you've mentioned, which one is the one maybe most affecting your sleep, do you think? I'm sorry to hear that. But hopefully as we go through these questions and on to the next phase, we can try and deal with some of these stresses in your life and yeah, help you get back to a healthy sleeping routine. And what kind of things have you tried to improve your sleep habits? So this can be anything from sleeping pills to taking herbal teas, trying certain apps, exercising, just yeah, anything you've tried to help improve your sleep. Okay. Okay. And did you find any of those were useful? Okay. Yeah. Exercising really helped you. Okay. And when you tried these different things, did you do them daily or was it more sporadic? Now, how much difficulty do you have falling asleep? Okay. And how much difficulty do you have staying asleep? Okay. It's interesting because for me, I fall asleep so quickly. It's like that. And but staying asleep is it's another issue for me. I find it quite difficult. I don't know why. Okay. And do you have problems waking up too early? Okay. Yeah. So almost done with the questions. And to what extent do you think your lack of sleep interferes with your life? From not at all to extreme interference. Okay. Well, that is not ideal, but we will try and work on that. And the last question, how worried are you about your sleeping habits? Okay. Okay, so that was all of the questions. And now we're going to go on to the trigger assortments and exercises. So I'm just going to put a heart monitor on you and we're going to have a look at your heart rate. And then we're going to try out different trigger assortments and exercises and see what that does to your heart rate. And the goal with this is, the goal with this clinic in general is not to directly improve your sleep quality, but indirectly to influence it through affecting your stress levels. Because a lot of the time people think, when you think about wanting to sleep better and when you're thinking, later I really need to sleep well, the problem is a lot of the time this puts stress on our bodies that we're not aware of. And studies have shown that thinking, I really need to sleep tonight, and thinking a lot about sleep can actually interfere with that. So I think this fighting it and really needing to sleep, it weirdly actually ends up in us more likely sleeping less because of the stress we're kind of putting on ourselves to make sure we do get sleep. And it really sucks. It's awful. But yeah, it's one of the things where you slowly have to teach yourself to care less about the sleep that you get and just care more about reducing stresses in your day-to-day life. And this will indirectly have an effect on your sleep. And I promise it will. You may not believe it. I know I've had days where I haven't been able to sleep for days. I've had weeks where I haven't been able to sleep well, where I wanted to pull my eyes out because they were so painful. So I get having the effect that it can have on you, but I promise that if you focus on just reducing your stress, it will ultimately affect your sleep. Okay, so we're just going to put a heart monitor on your finger. So if you can put your finger out for me and I'll just clip it on. Okay, that's good. Let me know if it gets uncomfortable. It hopefully shouldn't be uncomfortable. It's just a little pressure. But do let me know. And okay. I don't need to look as much at my notes anymore because we've asked our questions, but now we're going to go on to different exercises and triggers. So first we're going to be doing some deep breathing exercises. So I want you to breathe in through your nose and then breathe out through your mouth. Breathe in through your nose. Breathe out through your mouth. And again in. And again out. Feel free to close your eyes during this if you'd like. Whatever you like. And again, breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. And again, in and again, out. And just let your shoulders kind of fall down, just soften, just make sure all of you is loose, nothing is tense. Just, as you breathe in and out, let all the tensions in your body just slowly release. Just feel the weight on your eyes getting a little bit less, the cloudiness in your head. If you're thinking about anything, let it out of your mind. If you have any stresses or you feel tense in any areas, just roll a little bit around and just try and soften all these areas. Try not to tense anywhere. Just let your legs be jelly, your shoulders, your arms are jelly, they are soft. We're relaxing, no tension, and just breathe in, breathe out. And these kind of things on a day-to-day basis can really have a big impact on us. They can really reduce stress. Just taking that time to clear your mind is really useful. Okay. And let's go on to the next trigger assortment, and that is going to be flipping through some books. So let me grab a book behind me. We have a book by Murakami. I really love the sound of tapping. Let's have a little flick through. Try one more book. Good night, Mr. Tom. I really loved this book at school. I think I'm gonna read the blurb on the back, and maybe a page if it's not too much, or a paragraph, just to see how that influences you. Okay. When the Second World War breaks out, young Willie Beach is evacuated to the countryside. A sad, deprived child, he slowly begins to flourish under the care of kind old Tom Oakley. But then his cruel mother summons him back to war-torn London. Will he ever see Mr. Tom again? Now, I don't want to ruin the book for anyone, but it is an old book. And it does have a happy ending. Well, as happy as you can have during World War II. Let's see if we can find a little page. Maybe find one about where it's not too depressing. Some parts are very nice because obviously he's in the countryside. So let's see if we can find a nice one. Okay, this chapter's called The CCC. Zack opened his mouth and began singing the same old rousing song again. At Pararel in Brittany, down by the Britain Sea, if a man would go a-fishing, then let him come with me. For the fish lie out in the distance there, deep in the Breton Sea, deep in the Breton Sea. He had sung it so many times that Tom and Will knew it almost by heart. And green is the boat they sang, and red is the sail that leans to the sunlight breeze, and music sings at rippling keel. What can a man more please? It is sweet to go to the fishing grounds in the soft green Breton Sea. Well, that was a nice one I picked out, and that was genuinely a random page that I selected, but that was pretty relaxing. I think I butchered the rhythm of the poem. I'm not great with the knowing the flow of a poem, but we will now go on to the next exercise or trigger. Let me just check what we're going on to. We are going on to finger flutters and finger moving in a second. Okay, and I'm also going to do another finger activity, and what I'm going to do is just check your eyesight and how well you can follow my fingers. So I just want to know when my finger comes into your periphery, and you can do this by just nodding whenever it does. So I'm going to do that a few times from different directions, and you just tell me when you see it in your line of vision. Okay. Okay. Great, just a few more times, just to check. and we'll go on to the next exercise. The final thing that we're going to do is we're going to do some face touching, as long as you're okay with me touching your face. We're just going to sort of check up it a little bit, just to see whether you have any swollen glands, any redness, maybe see how your jaw movement is, and just a little checkup. So if you don't mind, I will start feeling your face. Okay, let me just start on your neck. Feels good, doesn't feel swollen. And can you just do a breath in and out? I also seem to do it there as well. Okay. Yep. And I'm going to have you just do a few jaw exercises just to see how well you can, how much mobility you have. So if you can just do this where you put the tongue to the roof of your mouth, and then you you use that to kind of push down your jaw, if you see what I mean. So like this. If you could just do that a few times, and we'll just see how the movement is. I'll just put my fingers a little bit on the outside of your jaw, just see how it goes up and down. Yep, that's perfect. Okay. Looks like you've got a little stiffness, but mostly looks good. Okay. And if you could also try moving it side to side, so just doing a type thing. Doesn't have to be too aggressive or wide, just slightly, just to see the movement. Yep. Perfect. That looks good. Just gonna, if you could open your eyes a little bit wider, I'm just gonna have a look at them. Okay. And can you do the left eye closed? Yep. Okay. And now can you do your other eye closed? Okay. I'm just gonna have a look for any redness. Maybe if you could turn your face to the left, that would be great. Okay. Oh, I didn't see any redness or swollen areas. If you could turn to the other side. Yep, that's great. Okay, great. I don't see any redness on this side either. So that all looks good. And those were all of the trigger assortments and exercises for today. We're going to be doing another session next week. So just come back for that, and we'll go through some new trigger assortments. And I hope that relaxed you sufficiently. It's good just to have some time for you, to focus on you, really think about, your breathing, your movements, be kind of more aware of where you're holding stress in your body, I think that's very important. But so we will see you for the next visit, and I hope you have a good day. Okay, bye.